Right, peeps, I'm back again. I thought I'd come on and do a knee jerk pod today because we've had three hat-tricks all on the same day. And that's the first time since 1985, I think. So there's a lot of knees jerking. People wondering what they should do. Their players have failed. Jackson's been garbage. Probably some other players that you've got have been garbage. Pickford's letting an own goal. People have had enough and they're wanting out. So we're going to have a calming session today because it's an international break. You know I don't like telling people what to do. If you want to make a transfer, make one. But be aware, we have got a 2-week international break where the likes of Jackson probably going off to Africa and all over the place. You know, Son's probably going to Korea and anything can happen. So the prices are moving quickly, but we've got to try and stay calm because it's all happening today. And we're going to try and make a better sense of it. Anyway, this is my wild card. I've got Areola and Leno in. Areola lost his clean sheet after 92 minutes. Very annoying. But after seeing Pickford get an own goal today, I'm thinking it was a win. You know, it's a small victory, but it's a victory nonetheless. You know, 2 points instead of 1. And that would have just infuriated me. Although Pickford, first time this season, he's got 2 save points. The first time he's got any save points, isn't it? But he's got 2. He made 6 saves. So maybe there's hope there. Maybe there's hope. You know, you certainly wouldn't want to be taking him out tonight, I think. Although his price is going to drop this week sometime. But with an international break and everything else happening, it's probably pretty low priority for you, isn't he? You know, but if he's annoying you that much, play your wild card. You know, because the international break actually, I often will play a wild card in an international break for the simple reason that if I'm borderline, if my team's borderline and I've got 2 or 3 problems, I'll often play it because you never know what other problems you're going to get later in the week. And the last thing you want to do with a wild card is activate it late on because you miss all the price rises, etc. So if your team's borderline, I'd say, if it was me and I had a borderline team, I'd play a wild card. You know, I even did it last week, but international breaks even more so. But I got Udogi in, 5 points. He's very good. You know, he's very high on the bonuses. He's getting assists. Tottenham are looking good. Even, you know, they didn't keep a clean sheet today, but they had in 2 goals and he still gets 5 points. Now, this is the type of player you want in your team. So I was very happy to get him in. Chilwell, disaster, isn't he? He's, from FPL perspective, he's not too bad because he's very attacking. But from a footballing perspective, Pochettino's making a huge error playing him as a winger. I mean, he needs to get Chilwell behind a proper winger so that they can both overlap, cause chaos, and they're going to do a lot better than just having Chilwell and Colwell on that side. You know, it should be Mudryk and Chilwell or Sterling and Chilwell because it's not surprising Chelsea aren't scoring any goals. Chilwell's not a goal scorer. We've seen that last week. We've seen it today. You know, but he got hauled off. He would have actually been off after 58 or 59 minutes, wouldn't he, if the ball had gone out of play. But Forest had like a big long stretch of play, took it past the 60 minutes. But yeah, I mean, I'm not getting rid of Chilwell, but he's not looking like a season keeper, put it that way. I've got Anderson in there. Hopefully they can keep a clean sheet against Wolves tomorrow. Henry, very, very lively today. Made a mistake that led to a goal, but was forward a lot, looked quite useful. Archer, say no more about him. Goal and assist. He's going to be a big enabler this season. You know, when he's playing the likes of Burnley, Fulham, Sheffield, well, not Sheffield because he plays for them, doesn't he? Give yourself a slap, Nick. You know, Bournemouth, all those sort of teams. Any team really outside the top 10, you're going to better stick Archer in there. You know, he's going to give you benching headaches occasionally, I think. But he looks useful. And if Son does take off, which he looks like he is, and Salah takes off as well, then suddenly money becomes very important. And you could actually, if you wanted to, make Archer a week in, week out starting striker if it enabled you to get Salah, Son, and all the other goodies that you'd otherwise wouldn't be able to get. So he's looking good. Cash hasn't played yet. Scoring for fun. He's in there, like I said, forward Cash. Maddison done all right. Goal. 5 goals for Tottenham. Maddison gets one. You'd say you'd want more, really, wouldn't you? But you settle for it. Well, Buemo, people complaining because he got a goal in injury time, but he missed a sitter during normal time. I mean, they're lucky he didn't get 2 goals. And I've been a non-owner all season until this week. And I'm one of these people who, underplays him a bit, I'm like, oh, it's my boy Mo. No, he won't keep it up, he won't do this, he won't do that. They've been lucky, etc. But I think he's going to continue to be lucky because, they've got good fixtures. There's obviously not a fluke. He can't be making fluking goals every week, is he? And like I said, he could have had another goal today, should have had another goal. So he's a decent asset, I think. I'm quite pleased I brought him in, although he didn't. No double figure hauls anywhere. Foden, I am disappointed with Foden. If I'd known Foden was only going to get 5 points, I wouldn't have brought him in. He was my kind of gut pick for this week. My gut pick should have been Son, because it was earlier in the week when I watched the League Cup game, and I thought, right, blooming Son's back on form. I'm going to get Son in. That's what I thought. And I wrote on Twitter, and then I forgot all about him. As the week went on, I forgot all about that League Cup game. And I kind of moved on and I started thinking Foden, I've got to get Foden or Bowen. And forgot all about Son, which is kind of annoying because I've got 5 million in the bank and I could have easily had Son. So that's hindsight, peeps. It does that to us, doesn't it? Like I said, there's 3 players I thought of bringing in. And it's the one I didn't get. So I'm like, I nearly did, but not really. There was a 20% chance I would have brought him in, 25%. But I'm not too unhappy with this wild card. Sterling, has he had his one good game of the season against Luton? I do think Chelsea though. As for Jackson, wow, missing that open goal. But to talk about Chelsea for a minute. I will say they look shit against teams that park the bus, but Bournemouth are not one of those teams. And I think next week is going to suit Chelsea down to the ground. I can see Mudryk playing next week, Machueki playing next week, Sterling, Jackson, all the speedsters are going to be in that team. If they're not, Poch needs a slap because it's going to be a very open game, I think, and it's tailor-made for those fast Chelsea players. They've got to open up. They've got to take more risks. They've got to go back to a back 4. They've got to stop trying to protect Thiago Silva, because this is what's happening. They're playing 3 at the back because Silva's getting on a bit and they don't trust him in part of the back 4. But they've got to go to a proper back 4, not a pretend. They're pretending they're playing the back 4 at the moment, aren't they? They've got 5 back, and then Colwell slides across and Chilwell's up. But really, they need to play a proper 4 at the back with Chilwell and Gusto actually behind wingers. Proper formation, peeps. That's what they need to do. Everyone's saying it. And what they're doing at the moment isn't working. They've got to go back to what they were doing in pre-season. And I think they'll get 2 or 3 goals against Bournemouth. So it's not the time to knee-jerk Jackson out. If he fails next week, he's gone. If he's rubbish against Bournemouth, he's definitely gone. I'm just hoping he's not off to darkest Africa and going to come back crook, because he's probably playing for Senegal, isn't he, over the international break. I think they've got a game on the Wednesday of next week, which is, luckily Chelsea aren't playing till the Sunday, but so he's got like 4 days to get back or whatever. But I mean, he could be playing in Africa somewhere. And Broja, I don't know if Broja's fit again yet, but another performance like that from Jackson, and he's going to get left out of the team, isn't he? Because you can't go missing open goals like that. Hopeless. It's not entirely his fault, but you start to wonder, all those crosses that come in, and you kind of blame the people crossing the ball, that they cross and no one's there, but you've got to start to wonder if it's Jackson's positioning that might be equally his fault, because there was one moment where he should have gone to the far post for a cross and he went to the near post, and of course he missed it then, didn't he? But the jury's out, but the more and more I see of Jackson, the less and less I want him in my team, to be honest, because Bournemouth could change all that, but it's, as far as I'm concerned, it's his last chance. If he does nothing against Bournemouth, he's gone. I don't care what fixtures he's got, he's gone. That will be a knee-jerk, but not this week, you know. We'll go and have a look now at the scores and have a look and see if we can find some talking points. First off, Pickford. 2-2 against Sheffield United. Own goal. That would have driven me completely bonkers. But like I said, you're not going to take him out unless you're on a wild card, are you, really? Because you're not going to make a keeper transfer. That'd be bloody tempting, but especially in an international week. You know, he got 6 saves, which is what we bought him for, wasn't it? We thought he was going to get lots of saves, and this is the first week where he's actually got them. So there's a little, tiny little ray of hope there. But on the other side, Archer, of course, with a goal and an assist and all 3 bonus points. You know, I'm pleased I've got him on my bench, yeah. And I think, like I said, he is going to be playable. You know, he's going to be playable against Bournemouth, Burnley, Forest, Fulham, all those teams. Anyone outside the top 8, probably, you're not going to be upset at playing Archer because he's looking good. Sheffield's showing signs of life, although then again, it is Everton, isn't it? And we've seen they're looking pretty grim. Pretty grim up north, peeps, especially around Sheffield and Everton areas. So let's have a look. Bowen, if you bought him for a Luton game, I think you've got a draw, to be honest. You've got a goal, but now you've got 2 tough fixtures. But West Ham, I think West Ham are a team that like tough fixtures. They like being attacked. So Antonio especially, you know, he's going to get his goals on the counter-attack when he gets them. So maybe the tough fixtures shouldn't worry you too much. But if you've got Antonio, you know, I mean, you might want to switch to Ferguson or Archer even. I don't know who have they got next week. Let's have a quick Shefty, who's Sheffield. So Sheffield are at Tottenham next week. So it's probably not a good week to get Archer and put him in the team, is it? And who are those other people got? Brighton. They're away at United. Player called Ferguson at United. That's got to be a good omen, hasn't it? A name like that going there. But would you really ideally want him for that? Although United's defence isn't that great, is it? So I wouldn't be against it. If you want to get Ferguson in, get all his price rises, I wouldn't be too unhappy with it. Although you've got to remember the following week after that. I know they've got Bournemouth. Yeah, no. I know they've got a couple of bad ones after that. But yeah, if you want to get Ferguson in, I'm not totally against it. He's as cheap as chips. He's going to rise in price. He's full of confidence. He's only 18. He's got world at his feet. Confident player. You can see he's got the goods. He's going to get better and better as the season goes on. He's got a good team behind him, giving him chances. Not like Chelsea. He just don't seem to be clicking into gear. But Brighton creating chances left, right and centre. And, you know, I think if, I tell you what, this is why you give Jackson one more chance, right? You give Jackson the Bournemouth game next week, and if he does nothing, then you get Ferguson in for their Bournemouth game. That's doing this pod. That's what the idea, bulb's gone off in my head. That's what I'm doing with Jackson. So he's got one game to sort himself out, or he becomes Ferguson. I won't be doing it this week, but I may very well next week. So that's that game sorted. We've learnt a bit there, haven't we, peeps? Now, where were we? So that's that game. Brentford-Bournemouth. Now, all you people, like myself, who have ignored Mbeumo, well, till this week, I did get him this week, but all you people like treating him like some annoying fly that you want to swat away because he's a constant thorn in your side, isn't he? Gets penalties every 5 minutes, scores in injury time. You know, it's just annoying. And you think, well, it can't keep going, can it? It can't keep happening, this. But the trouble is, I watch the game and it can keep happening because you can complain all you want about his injury time goal, but he had a simple chance to get another goal. I know he's not the greatest finisher, but he is going to score those goals sometimes. And he had a gilt-edged opportunity today, and I think it would have been a Henry assist as well. And he had a golden opportunity, and he fluffed it. He didn't hit the target. If he'd hit the target, it would have been a goal. You know, then he could have been 2 goals, couldn't it? Although he probably wouldn't have got his injury time goal if he'd got a goal earlier on, but it would have changed everything. But looks tip-top. So I'm pleased I've got him in, and I don't think that's the end of his scoring. So if you are trying to just ignore him, hoping he goes away, then he might not for a little bit yet. He might be a consistent thorn in the side, annoying you for a bit longer. Right, Burnley, Tottenham. We can see Burnley aren't the old Burnley. This Burnley lets in lots of goals. So 5 goals today. Son of a hat-trick. Maddison and Romero. Well, who do you get? If you haven't got Son and Maddison, who do you get? Tricky, isn't it? I don't know. I'd still say Maddison probably. I think they've brought in Johnson from Forest to be their striker long term. But I don't really know. And you've got this Solomon character. Now, I must admit, I don't know much about this Solomon, but he got 2 bonus points, and he got 2 assists. I think he was playing on the left, where Son was the striker. So they're probably going to rinse and repeat, aren't they, next week? Which probably means Richarlison's not going to play, and Johnson isn't going to start until something goes wrong with the current team selection that they've got. Now, Tottenham have got 2 really tricky fixtures coming up. They've got Liverpool and Arsenal. But the kind of form they're in, Arsenal are often a high-scoring game when they play them. Liverpool can't defend for shit. Although we'll give them a Villa game to see how they get on in the Villa game tomorrow. But they've got lots of new midfielders. Maybe they're going to be a bit more solid this year. But it's not out of bounds of possibility that, you know, Son could get a goal in one of those games against Arsenal or Liverpool. And next week they're home to Sheffield United, or you put on a par with Burnley. And so the Son can score a hat-trick against Burnley, there's no reason why he can't score one against Sheffield as well. He's going to go up real quick. He's on his first rise or nearly already today. And I don't know who people are going to be taking out to get him in. People take out Sterling. I think he's a bit more expensive, Son, isn't he? I think he's 9 million. So a lot of people might not be able to afford to get the Son in straight away. Unless you can see if Rashford and Fernandes don't perform tomorrow, you can see what's going to happen there. They're going to get battered in the market and Son's going to take off. But like I said, it's an international week. If it wasn't an international week, I'd be doing it tomorrow. I'd be taking Foden out and putting Son in straight away, no questions asked. So I've got the money, I've got 5 million in the bank. But being an international week and only having 1 transfer, I'm like, no, I'm probably not going to do it. But I'm not against, if I've got no injuries this week, I wouldn't be surprised if I do Foden to Son before the deadline. Because that Foden spot, I told you before, I've lined up as being my transfer spot. Everyone else is settled. That spot isn't. So, not against it. Because they could go to town. haven't got Madison. Dogi's another one. Very happy with him. He gets really high on the bonus points. Even today, there were 7 goals in this game, yet Udogi still managed to sneak in a bonus point. He's very high on them. He's going to be getting a lot of bonus points. Just the 1 assist. Lost a point because he conceded 2. But even in a game where they concede 2, he still gets 5 points. So he's top-notch asset, this character. Apparently he was really good in fantasy last year in a different league. So I think you're going to want him. Sooner rather than later, probably, because his price is rising all the time. Chelsea Forest, well, Jackson's becoming the most annoying player in the league. If he does this once more at the ref, I'm going to shoot the fucker, because that's Shri blooming, metaphorically of course, not literally. But Shri had it for 4 games so far. He's done this. Does the boy not learn? Poch needs to have a word with him, because it's just getting annoying. 2 more and he gets suspended. You know, and as for he's a diver as well. So, I mean, he was lucky today that was offside, because he did a bit of a dive, didn't he, around the keeper. He's asking for trouble. I'm not as high on Jackson as I was. I'm pretty low on him, in fact. And I'm starting to get sick of him. And if he does nothing against Bournemouth, he's definitely a Gornberger, as far as I'm concerned. Because I've seen enough. His positioning, he's not suited to this sort of a game. That's half the problem. He needs to be in a game. He needs to be playing for West Ham, or he needs to be in a game, hopefully, like Bournemouth next week, because they're going to counter-attack, hopefully. Hopefully it's going to be very flowy. I just hope he's there and not blooming on the bench for Brozier or injured after going to Senegal. Bolly got 3 bonus points. I was thinking, because I bought Anderson in, and I was looking for someone that would rotate really well with my defence. And Nottingham Forest rotated really well with a couple of teams, because they've got 3 really easy home games coming up. So I went on last night and I said to Mark Sothers, I said, which Forest defender should I get in? Should I get in Bolly or the other one? What's the other one's called that used to play for Tottenham? Can't remember. But I was asking him which one I should get in. And he's saying, oh, Bolly's probably the most secure, but I wouldn't get any in just yet. And he supports Forest. And the transfer window hadn't quite closed then. And he's going, well, I wouldn't get any of them in. So in the end, I didn't bother. I kept Cash, who's probably not 100% nailed on. And I see the prick Bolly got 3 bonus points today. So maybe I should have bought in a Forest defender after all, because they're not looking that bad, are they? I shouldn't listen to other people, peeps. Never listen to anyone else, even if they are very knowledgeable and support a club, but you're looking to bring a player in on. Although he might have got injured, mightn't he? I think he was hobbling about a bit at the end. But they've got some very easy home fixtures, Forest. You see, next week they've got home to Burnley. Then they've got a shit one. Then they've got a good one. Then they're home to Brentford. And then they're home to Luton, I think it is. Yeah. So I was thinking of bringing him in, and I got talked out of it. That's my excuse anyway. I blame someone else. But hopefully Cash can do well. But yeah, they're looking good, Forest. Chelsea making them look good, that's the question, isn't it? Now, City and Fulham. Well done if you got Alvarez. Unlucky if you got Foden, probably. Although I haven't watched the match yet, but you'd think with 5 goals, only 1 assist. Although Foden's making a habit of this lately. But Haaland with a hat-trick, one of the hat-trick heroes. And for those people who've got no Haaland teams, like I have, I've got one in the fan team. it's already in the bin almost, because this is the kind of game that shows you why you just have to have Haaland. And it's, to me, it shows why they should have made Haaland at least 2 million more expensive to make the game more interesting, because the price structure is broken in this game. Even when Haaland's 12 or 13 million or whatever he is, it's just such a no-brainer to have him in there. And it's too easy to have him in there. But it just makes it, everyone has got him, haven't they? 90% of people have got him. Alvarez, 2 bonus. Did he get an assist? He got a goal, I think, didn't he? He got 2 assists and a goal. Jesus, how many points did he get? Well, clearly on the wrong one there, wasn't I? But like I said, with Archer, you've got Archer, who you're going to want. And you're going to want just one other striker apart from Haaland. And it makes it more difficult to get Alvarez in, isn't it? It was kind of him or Jackson, really. And Jackson, he's got easy fixtures, he's starting. Alvarez, you just don't know with the minutes. You just can't trust Pep. But fair play to people that got him in. They got a lot of points. I don't know, I haven't checked to see how many he got, but he must have got 4 for his goal. 4, 7, 10, 12, 14. 14 I think he would have got, which is pretty good, isn't it? Keeper, I've got the Fulham keeper on my bench. He got 0, so I picked the right keeper. So there, peeps. All you people that say keeper rotations are no good, at least I got 2 extra points today. You forget about those, don't you? You only highlight that rotation doesn't work when the one on the bench gets more than the other one. And conveniently forget all the times that your starting keeper got more points than the one you benched. It's only 2 extra points, but I'll take it. Right. Brighton and Newcastle. I'll tell you what, a lot of people are looking at Newcastle assets, defenders especially, because they've got nicer fixtures coming up. Honestly, I'd forget about it, because they're not looking right. They're not looking good at all at the moment. They're not looking like the Newcastle of last season, especially the first half season where they did really well last year. They're not looking like that at all. And for me, I'm just forgetting they exist until they start to show from form. We're in a really hard Champions League group. That starts up soon. Botman's injured, we don't know how long for. Charlotte pretty injured, so he could be out as well next time, although we've got an international break for them to recover. But they don't look good. And Brighton do look good. As for Ferguson, like I said, 18, full of confidence, on the up. We knew he was pretty good, didn't we, in pre-season, but now it's like he could be massive. Absolutely massive this season. The amount of chances that Brighton create, I'm certainly going to get him in at some point. Whether it's, it depends on Jackson, really. If he does well against Bournemouth, I'll keep him. Otherwise, I'm going to be doing Jackson to Ferguson. And you could even possibly rotate. Let's have a look. You might better rotate Archer and Ferguson, just for the 2 tough games that Ferguson's got. You see, Ferguson's got, in 2 weeks' time, Ferguson's got, who has he got? Let's have a look. Well, it's not that bad, is it? Away to Villa. Very slow at finding. Have you noticed that? I'm very slow at finding the team play. I went at home to Liverpool. I mean, they've got a leaky defence. And then I think they might have City here. Yeah, away at City. So you wouldn't want to play Ferguson away at City. I put it to you that you wouldn't. But you could, oh well, Sheffield United. I think I'd rather play Archer against Sheffield United, I think, yeah. But neither of them have got a great fixture, so that kind of theory hasn't worked out too well, has it? Sheffield United have got Fulham though when Ferguson's got Liverpool. So you could argue that you could play Archer in that game, or you could realistically think that Brighton could beat Liverpool. It's not out of the question, is it? The way they played today, the way they dispatched Newcastle today, you'd think there's not much for Brighton to be afraid about, especially at home. So I'm all for bringing Ferguson in for that Bournemouth game in 2 weeks. And the only game you've got to worry about basically is City away. Because I don't think anyone else, you've got nothing to fear. Because that team creates so many chances. Honestly, Mitoma, everybody creating chances that you've got nothing to worry about. I really don't think you do. Defensively, maybe, Stupian with those fixtures coming up. I'm not sure you want to be starting him. You nearly got a clean sheet today, didn't you? But you just failed, luckily. Luckily for me, anyway. Thanks to Wilson. Anyway, peeps, that's about it for those games today. And in terms of knee-jerking, I really don't think we want to be doing any of it at the moment. I don't like telling people what to do. If you want to make your transfers and go for it, go for it. If you've got 2 free transfers, go for it. I might do myself if I had 2 free transfers, but being on 1 free transfer, I'm not risking it for Ferguson, especially as Jackson's got a good fixture as well, and Brighton haven't, really. You'd be bringing him in for, who was it again next week? Away at Man United, yeah. Do you really want to bring Ferguson in away at Man United? I don't think you do. I'd rather take my chances with Jackson away at Bournemouth. So that's 1 knee jerk. I'm striking out, peeps. No go. But Son, Sheffield United, that's a completely different kettle of fish. I think that's a knee jerk that's got some, there's some logic behind that. I don't know where this expression knee jerk comes from, but it sounds a bit dodgy. It's probably a nautical term, and most of these expressions are always nautical, aren't they? Like give him a bit of rope, and all of them, hundreds of them, always nautical expressions. Knee jerk sounds a bit dodgy, sort of thing that happens when the sailors are on shore leave, isn't it? But I don't know where it came from, but Son, he's one that I think he's I wouldn't even call him a knee jerk, because people that watched Spurs last week, they were saying that the signs were there, a bit like with Chelsea and Sterling last week. And I watched the League Cup match earlier on in the week, and Son scored then too. And I went on Twitter and I said, Son's going to break his duck this week. And I was actually thinking about it, because I was on a wild card. I was thinking about him, and then my gut started to tell me Foden instead. It went, Foden, you've got to get Foden. And Foden did all right, but Son, it turns out Son was the one that really, in hindsight, I should have got. Everything looks easy in hindsight, doesn't it? You think, Tottenham, 2 good fixtures, Son coming to the boil, scored in the League Cup, scoring for fun. He's going to be up top because Richarlison's not playing. Sounds so simple, doesn't it? Why didn't I do it? But that's what hindsight does to you. It does that all the time. So you can't beat yourself up too much. Some of you did get him. Well done to you guys that did get him. But, we're too blinkered, I think, by the fact he hadn't had a single attacking return all season, had he? But then again, it was only 3 games. He scored in the League Cup. He was warming up. Richarlison had failed. Why didn't I do it, peeps? Why didn't I do it? Don't know. But I'm thinking I might end up doing it now. Well, not now. So I've decided I'm not doing an early transfer this week, because the international week's just too risky. It really is. They're going off all over the show. So I think I've said this before. I'm repeating myself now. So it's probably time to get off. And 3 games tomorrow. Hoping for an Anderson clean sheet tomorrow. I've got him in. He's very under the radar pick. I think he's only a couple of % owned. Love a clean sheet. I know he got a goal that you think, oh, he's only got him in because he scored last week. But he's had quite a few shots over the last 3 matches. So I think he's pretty decent. He's a top player. And I'm hoping that he can get me some points. Because if he doesn't, I've just got Saka against United. And I took out Ferguson, Rashford and Fernandes. So that United game's got disaster written all over it. You know, there's all sorts of things that can happen in that game that'll have me banging my head saying, why am I such an idiot? You know, why did I take Ferguson out? Why did I take Rashford out? Why did I wild card? Why did I not think that Martinelli would score with Jesus back and Gabriel back, a proper formation back? I should have known. I'm an idiot. Why didn't I know? Because that would be hindsight, peeps. Foresight, Martinelli's a prick. Rashford's a prick. Fernandes is a prick. And they all had to go because Arsenal's going to beat them 1-0. Although I better not because I've got Saliba on the bench. But anyway, peeps, I'm off now. And I thought I'd come on and do this show anyway. And if you're feeling like I am at the moment, you're thoroughly down on Chelsea, just remember it's Bournemouth next. Don't get that idea out your head because it's easy to get down about what's happened. Focus on what's going to happen next week. That's the key. Which is why I think Son is not really a knee-jerk. He's a good pick, but I'm not getting him yet. But I might get him before the deadline if everything goes well. Whereas Ferguson, he's more of a knee-jerk because they're away at Man United. So on that note, peeps, I'm off. And I'll talk to you all later anyway. I'll probably be back. I might even do another one tomorrow. If not, I'll be back the following day because I've got a bit of time on my hands this week, hopefully. And I'll talk to you all later. Okay then, so cheers for now, peeps. And remember, like and subscribe. Okay then, right, bye for now.